Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter number 24, text number 40. Matra Adhyatmikim Vidhyam Shamanim Sarvakarmanam Vitarishyeya Yachasau Bhayam Chati Tarishyati. Translation and purport by Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. I shall also describe this sublime knowledge, which is the door to spiritual life, to my mother, so that she also can attain perfection and self-realization, ending all reactions to fruitive activities. Thus, she also will be freed from all material fear. Purport. Kardamuni was anxious about his good wife Devahuti while leaving home, and so the worthy son promised that not only would Kardamuni be freed from the material entanglement, but Devahuti would also be freed by receiving instructions from her son. A very good example is set here. The husband goes away taking the sannyasa order for self-realization, but his representative, the son, who is equally educated, remains at home to deliver the mother. A sannyasi is not supposed to take his wife with him. At the vanaprastha stage of retired life, or the stage midway between householder life and renounced life, one may keep his wife as an assistant without sex relations. But in the sannyasa order of life, one cannot keep his wife with him. Otherwise, a person like Kardamuni could have kept his wife with him, and there would have been no hindrance to his prosecution of self-realization. Kardamuni followed the Vedic injunction that one in sannyasa life can have any kind of, no one in sannyasa life can have any kind of relationship with a woman. But what is the position of a woman who is left by her husband? She is entrusted to the son, and the son promises that he will deliver his mother from entanglement. A woman is not supposed to take sannyasa. So-called spiritual societies concocted in modern times give sannyasa even to women, although there is no sanction in the Vedic literature for a woman's accepting sannyasa. Otherwise, if it were sanctioned, Kardamuni could have taken his wife and given her sannyasa. The woman must remain at home. She has only 3 stages of life: dependency on the father in childhood, dependency on the husband in youth, and in old age dependency on the grown-up son, such as Kapila. In old age, the progress of woman depends on the grown-up son. The ideal son, Kapila Muni, is assuring his father of the deliverance of his mother so that his father may go peacefully without anxiety for his good wife. Doesn't say Bhaktivedanta purport.
So we see here that Lord Kapila is taking care of the entire situation of Kardamuni. Because Kardamuni wants to take up renounced order, but his wife Devahuti was a concern for him, as Prabhupada says here. He was in anxiety, but Kapila Muni says, no, I will also take care of her, but how he will take care of her? He says, I shall describe the sublime knowledge to my mother so that she can attain perfection of self-realization. So, Lord Kapila is incarnation of the Lord, and it is an instance where the Lord himself is taking care of the material situation also. Because one cannot, as Prabhupada is explaining here, without an older son to take care of the mother of his wife, he cannot take sannyasa order. The women, according to the Vedic revealed scriptures, for reasons best revealed in the scriptures and best known, least understood. Women has to be under the shelter of the father in the beginning, then the husband, and then the eldest son. It may be very unnerving to modern educated women, but that's why I said it's least understood. One has to understand the entire the build-up of the psychology of a man against the psychology of a woman. There are inherent dependent factors, especially emotional factors, which cannot be done away with so easily unless the woman transcends and again, goes beyond the bodily concept of life. Woman, normally it is through normal process of pravritti marg. It is not so easy for a soul in the woman's body to transcend these limitations. But anyone who is associating with the chanting of Hare Krishna properly, then actually there is no limitation, they can transcend. The limitations, they can transcend. And they can transcend the limitation to the extent to which they associate with the holy name and engage in pure devotional service, they can transcend. So here Kapila Muni is saying that I will make my mother transcend by giving her this transcendental knowledge. I will make her transcend. And once she is transcendental, then there is no need for this kind of material protection. He ends the story there. I will describe the sublime knowledge which is a door to spiritual life to my mother so that she can attain perfection and self-realization. Not that Kapila Muni afterwards, till she leaves the body, she materially is taking care of her and all these things. Nothing. Already he has made her transcend. So it's a very interesting Leela of the Lord. A lot of, message is there in this Leela between Lord Kapila, Kardamuni and Devahuti. So here Prabhupada's, the verse itself says that the result of sublime knowledge is to liberate one from fruitive activities. So actually the fruitive activities is the binding factor for the living entity into this material world. Yesterday we discussed about how the false ego is the binding factor, but false ego binds through activities, fruitive activities. So these are the two things by which the living entity is trapped in this material world. The living entity is, suppose you put a person in a cage, you can say, I have trapped this person in the cage and he cannot come out. So that is a case of a gross body being trapped in a gross cage. When we say the living entities are trapped in this material world, the living entities themselves are not gross. So how can they be trapped? My body can be trapped by a gross body, another gross body, a cage or a prison. Now how can the living entity which is spirit be trapped? The living entity is a knower in this body. By wrongly knowing, it gets trapped. So the imprisonment or trapping of the living entity is not actually physical. That entrapment is through false ego or the concept that I am this body. When you say I am this body, that is false ego. Because I means what? I means thinking, feeling, willing, free will, activity, so many things. That is nature of the soul. I means the soul. So when you say I am this body, that means you assign all these characteristics to the body. The body is the doer, body is the the identity of this body, that is me, starts with that. I am this body, that is me. That means we get, our spirit gets haunted by this I am this body. So body is separate, I am this body is separate. I am this body is a concept, body is out there as a reality. The body itself is not binding the soul, but our relationship with the body is binding the soul. A pure devotee like Prabhupada is in this body, it doesn't bind him, bind his soul. But when we think we are this body, bodily interest is my interest, bodily security is my security, bodily life is my life. And therefore, by such ideas, but by such ideas we are trapped. But these ideas are very, very deep. When these ideas are very deep, they are called very deep beliefs there. And this body is a very deep belief. Because when you repeat something many times, it goes very deep into the subconscious. So it's that deep belief that I am this body, that self-concept, is the ahankara that binds us to this body. So it is through ignorance, not through any gross rope that we are bound. It is through ignorance that we are bound. It's very important to understand this. Because when we understand that all my problem and all my difficulties is because of one thing called ignorance, that itself gives us a big relief. Oh, if I change my belief and understand what really I am, which is defined by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we are eternal servants of Krishna. Krishna is Purna, Krishna is everything. And we are his part and parcel. Existence means Krishna, including us. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. So when we understand, this is revealed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed that you are the eternal servant of Krishna. Now as I explained a little earlier, it is a false ego and the activities of the false ego, which is called fruitive activity, that binds us into this material world. It is not bodily activities that bind us to this material world. Prabhupada was walking on this planet. His bodily activities were going on. He was walking, talking, building, the movement, everything. That is not what binds the living entity. What binds the living entity is the activities of the false ego. When you're haunted by a false self-concept and you work for that self-concept, that is called false ego. So basically the essential principle, the essential trap is that of self-concept, false self-concept. It's a fictional self. False ego is a fictional self. The original, it's fictional self means there is no self like that. The self, there is only one self, the soul. The soul has got the ability to think rightly or wrongly. It has got chitta shakti. When that chitta, that I am eternal part and parcel of Krishna is covered, then he has got an alternative to think that I am something else. So the soul has got a very powerful ability of self-identifying. I am this. And of course, this I am this body is completely facilitated by Maya. And activities of this false self is supported by Kala. Kala is the energy of the Lord, which actually pushes one to fruitive activities. There is an energy acting upon this body. It's facilitated. This illusion is facilitated. I am this body is facilitated. I am this body, I as this body am the enjoyer is facilitated. I as this body, I do things, I achieve things, I lord over things is facilitated by Three modes of material nature and Kala. And we are experiencing this kind of a influence of this body upon us. But the knot that ties the soul to this material world is ignorance. And as we discussed yesterday, there is mere intellectual knowledge is the first stage of understanding I am not this body. But our experience that I am this body is not intellectual. Our experience is experiential, isn't it? We think, feel and will I am this body. So if I have to come out of this body, I should unthink, unfeel, unwill that I am this body. It's a very deeper problem. It's not only in. So like we sit in the class and we give, I am not this body lecture we give. That's the intellectual part. No doubt, many people don't have that also. We are very fortunate that we have at least that. Then the rest, the unwilling and the unthinking, unfeeling, how does it come? The sense of ego, how does it come? By activity, that devotional activities. It is by activity that we culture the right kind of consciousness. By activities of lording over, fruitive activities, we reinforce our false ego. By activity that I am servant of Krishna, the master is the Lord. I am an order carrier. A servant has no desires other than desire of the master. Nirasha. Nirmama. Everything belongs to my master. Nothing belongs to me. And this is what practice of devotional service is. That everything is belonging to him. My ability to work, act also is belonging to him. I am simply an instrument in his hands, nimitta matram. So the activity, the nature of not the nature of the activity, the consciousness of the activity is purified. It is an exercise. It is a cultivation. Because for millions of life we have cultivated the other consciousness of being a separated living entity. Somebody has to come and preach to us, hey, be God conscious. Otherwise, by default, we are in a separated consciousness. But actually our original core ego, the servant of Krishna, it has got a different consciousness of naturally being the servant of the Lord and experiencing that sense of belonging to the Lord. That is called love. And oneness in quality with God, different from this material body, quality of this material body. So these things are what actually this, in other words, total, not only the knowledge, but acting on that knowledge, that's called vijnana. We have to continuously act on that knowledge of devotional service. And then 100% it is possible to achieve that change in the thinking, feeling and willing. Change in the approach towards life. As a person, the goal itself is now to satisfy the master. There is no concern for oneself at all. If I am part and parcel of God, why should I concern about myself? He will take care of me. My entire life is for him. So this consciousness has to be cultured and cultivated on a day-to-day basis when we engage in devotional service. That is the challenge of advancing in spiritual life. We read Prabhupada's books, fine. But as we actually engage in Prabhupada's service, you will see the Bhaktivedanta purports come live. Come live means other dimensions are added into it. What is the other dimensions? Emotional dimension is added. Spiritual, emotional dimension is added to it. I am a servant of Krishna is a concept, isn't it? Another self-concept. But it's not, it has to get emotionalized. When you get emotionalized, that means actually you feel that you are a servant of Krishna and you act as a servant of Krishna. So all these things are very, all this transformation in our psychology, from mundane psychology to transcendental psychology, our original ego's psychology, thinking, feeling and willing. Is all these things happen simply by associating with the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just imagine, all these things happen. Transformation happens. Our heart changes, provided we associate with the holy name. Otherwise, this elaborate process, go through the ascending process of understanding all these things. See, Bhagavatam gives all these things. You read Kapila Leelas, you read instruction from Vidura, you read instruction from Krishna, everything in the Bhagavatam you read. But to understand these things, certain basic consciousness is required. Because these are variegated spiritual knowledge. They're transcendental sound. To understand this, you need to chant Hare Krishna. And to understand chant Hare, and to, again the problem is, what about people who cannot chant Hare Krishna? For them, the next solution is take prasadam. So first is prasadam. Then chant Hare Krishna. Then we understand Bhagavad Gita. Then we understand Bhagavatam. Then we understand Chaitanya Charitamrita. So step by step association, we are able to appreciate the association. So many devotees, they say, oh, I don't know why I don't feel like reading. I'm not interested in reading. I've been pushed into reading every day. I hear, okay, no problem. Go to the next step. Please focus on chanting Hare Krishna nicely. You are not doing that properly. If you chant Hare Krishna properly, as it should be chanted, that means properly means you should effectively get association of Nama. Nama is the incarnation of the Lord. If you get effective association, then there will be sensitivity to Bhagavatam, sensitivity to Bhaktivedanta purports. It's just like if you see, if you have diabetic, if there is no blood flow ultimately, you will see that end of your fingers and toes and all become insensitive. So even a thorn goes inside, you will be insensitive. Because there is no blood circulation. Similarly, our souls are completely insensitive. Our spirit is insensitive to the messages of Bhaktivedanta purport, is insensitive to Bhagavatam, because it is relishable like anything, even intellectually relishable. As I said, intellect has different dimensions. The normal logical intelligence that we talk about, then the emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence that is behind every word, every purport. Yesterday we discussed how ultimately it is through the intellect that this false ego is dissolved, through intellect. But that is spiritual intellect. So these are all not known to karmis. They know only a normal intelligence. But there is an intelligence, a live intelligence. We only know about computer intelligence. But there is a live intelligence. There is a knowledge which has got life. When you associate with the purports, that purport has got life, it will come and influence our chit, awaken us. Just like we see deities, you can see as stone, you can see from the eyes of the Shastras the way what is really out there. Holy name also, you can see it as ordinary vibration and understand it is Shakti or Avatara of the Lord. Similarly, Bhaktivedanta purports, you can see it as normal logical intelligence. It's like seeing the deity as a metal. As much caution, as much guidance is required to see the deity, to see the holy name. One requires guidance, spiritual guidance, not intellectual guidance, proper attitude, proper consciousness to touch what is behind these words, what is behind these purports. It is relishable, it is enjoyable, it is bliss to associate with transcendental knowledge. Any questions? In chanting Hare Krishna, another thing, when we chant Hare Krishna, when you do our japa, this fruitive mentality is rooted in a rasa. That rasa is lauding rasa. That rasa is success rasa. If you see in this material world, the whole material world is running on success, success, success. People have no other, once they have their, enough to eat, sleep, and have a good family, house and all, what are they all running for? How much does a man need? We're all running for what? For success rasa. Success rasa. Succeed in their business, succeed in the social relationship, succeed in name, fame. That's all. They're running around for that. The entire world is. So, fruitive mentality is characterized by success rasa, achievement rasa. Our karma demands our mind be given success. If it doesn't give success, then it demands. That brings sukha and dukkha. Failure gives unhappiness, success gives happiness. This goes on. This biggest contamination of success rasa is purified by japa. How? Directly purified by japa, by feeling a sense of success in moving every bead towards fulfillment of the order of the Guru. That consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Before the next mantra, give a drop of sense of success to yourself. Highly purifying it is. All our fruitive mentality will be burnt. 1,416 rounds is how much? 1730. 1738 times a day you are feeding your sense of success. What a beautiful thing. And then when you finish mala, after mala, as you move your sakshi mala, a small drop, micro drop, sense of success. Then micro drop, bead to bead. Mind gets purified, like anything. So our entire fruitive mentality is that craving for success is more than satisfied. More than satisfied. The mind becomes what? The sense of success is what creates Rajaguna. So immediately Rajaguna is all completely, cooled down, and the whole day becomes sattvic. If we do this kind of, that is the reason why the acharyas have asked us to do in mala, sakshi mala is given, sankhya purvaka, count and do it. Why? This sense of success is not only for us as neophytes. Haridas Thakur, why did he feel that? Why did he count? He had a transcendent sense of success. My seva to the Lord, this much, 3 lakh names I want to finish. It is a success in relationship with the Nama, directly. So feeling sense of success is not a bad thing. Success is not a bad thing. Desiring is not a mad thing. Nirasha means, okay, I have asha to please Krishna. Mine is not a bad thing. You say, holy name is my only protection. My only dependence is holy name. My holy name is mine. So, your nirmama, nirasha, all these things, these are the 2 factors that bind us in fruitive activities. So with the proper consciousness, bead after bead, you chant Hare Krishna. Every day we are curing our fruitive mentality. Any questions?
Yeah, Prabhu, a student of literature, absorbed in Shakespeare and all, he actually breathes Shakespeare.
Right.
At the same time, we are also talking about being absorbed in purports of Srila Prabhupada.
Right.
The effect of that, how is it, how to understand that effect?
The air he breathes is different, the air you breathe is different. Both are breathing. The air is different. I am breathing spiritual chit. It's a spiritual knowledge, energy from the Supreme Lord, incarnation. He is breathing like a paper bullet. There's a real bullet. You are using real bullet. And he is using paper bullet in the paper world. That's all. And taking false satisfaction. That I killed a paper, with my paper bullet, I killed a paper tiger. It is the empty hits, that's all. Meaningless life. Because this material world is a perverted world for perverted rasas of what is in the spiritual world. So like Prabhupada says, these are all meant for people with meager intelligence. Very nicely Prabhupada says. The variegatedness of this material world are meant for people with meager intelligence. Why? Because those who are intelligent understand that these are all reflections, these are all symbols. The real thing is Krishna, real thing is I am eternal servant of Krishna, devotion service to Krishna, Krishna's creation, Krishna, all reality. We are continuously dealing with reality, they are continuously dealing with illusion. Illusion is in the head. They are in this world, devotees are also in this world. We relate in reality terms, they relate in illusion. They project, they take an illusion out of this. Just like out of light patches in a television, you make a story in your mind and you are enjoying rasas. So karmis are doing that. We are saying, no, I know it is light patch. I don't want to create any rasa out of this. Father, mother, this thing, children, this thing, society, social gathering, all this. That story I am not interested in. I am interested in where is the real story. That is real television comes by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by hearing all this, through Shabda. The Shabda is a route to that world. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.